guys, rolling into another basement finish out. Just gonna go over a couple of the framing aspects of this job, point out some of the things that we're trying to pay attention to here as we're doing the construction. And later this week, we'll do some more videos on plumbing, electrical, and HVAC. So one thing that we often come across in basements is trying to account for mechanical and other things that are in the ceiling. So oftentimes when you'll see these build outs along here, you'll see waves. And I've spoken about this before, but super important to get these lines true as possible. In this case, we're using OSB on the outside here, and as you can see, it creates a really straight run. What does that do? Well, that really helps the guy that comes behind him, which is your drywall guy, to really make sure that his edges are nice and clean too. This is a true line of sight, both from either end, depending on where you are, but you're always gonna see the flaws if you don't account for that on the front end here with the framing. So guys took some time to really make sure that this was nice and straight. So you'll see here we've put in a grid. This allows for application for drywall in the ceiling. The reason we chose to do this application is when you're trying to run a soffit from one end this distance to the other, framing that out both is not as cost effective doing it in lumber at lumber prices these days, along with the fact that you're trying to create, again, the flattest surface possible, especially when it relates to these basement ceilings that are lower, and also keeping this ceiling as high as possible that we can. Again, the reason we're putting this in is you'll see we've got electrical, we've got mechanical here, we've got mechanical here, we've got plumbing here, all of which we had to drop this ceiling. We also have a high window, so you'll notice that this line and this ceiling here steps up to account for and allow for this. Another workaround would have been to frame this around and just have a little bit of a dropped area. But again, anytime that I can create maximum height in a ceiling in a basement, I try to do it. So looking down here, you'll see again how flat this is. So this application again is gonna work really well for this setup, and it's gonna really allow us to have some really straight, clean lines on this lower part of this ceiling. So here on the other end, just going to show you really quick, this is where we did a framed soffit. As you can see, we use 2x4s. You typically don't want to try to run these more than 4 feet in any length before you're tying them back in again, just because over time, the ceiling can sag. And it's also really tough to have 2x4s in the ceiling stay true to their straightness over a long distance. So you'll see that we've gone along here, and then we've put in nailers, and then we've gone another step in, and that was the case all the way through here. And here's again one more look at this grid that we use, this metal grid for drywall application here in the bathroom. We have gained probably 3 inches by using this grid, and again in a basement grid where the ceiling's already feeling low, we were trying to maximize the height for this space just to keep it up, trying to prevent kind of a cave feel that can happen in basements. All right, that's it for framing. So again, just you're trying to get an idea for some of the details, trying to pay attention to here with maximizing space, really trying to hold some straight lines, use of different applications of material in order to, again, achieve that and ultimately get the results we want. So as we go along, we'll see how it turns out once we get to drywall.